said it's great to have him back in the building. He expects Kyrie to play tomorrow against the Cavs. Kyrie missed the last 7 games due to personal reasons and COVID protocols. And here he was addressing the media for the first time. Take a listen.
I'm wondering if you were aware that you had violated was like for you in coming back and going through that investigation, one, and then secondly, what your communication was like with the team while you were away.
Happy to be back. Happy to be around these guys, address the team, address everybody that need to be addressed. Now it's time to move on.
I just was circling back on the health and safety front.
Happy to be back. Thank you. I'm a hometown kid, so, things hit a little different when, family or personal stuff going on, and that's up to me to handle that as a man. But yeah, I just take full accountability for my absence with the guys and, just had a conversation with each one of them and we move on. It's, pretty interesting in watching when you take a break from everything. There's just so many assumptions about what's going on. And so many people feel like they know me best and they have no idea who I am, nor what I'm about, or what I stand for, or even attempt to take the time, or even for me to invite them to take the time. So it's a two-way street. And when things become overwhelming in life, you just got to take a step back and realize what's important. That's a big thing. I just want honesty. And in order to be honest, I got to be honest myself. And that's the first thing. So I know I can talk in circles and I know all these words get used, but I'm just being honest here. It's been a lot to balance. And now I called for help. And now I have just so many mentors and so many people reaching out and, just taking things off my plate that were never mine in the first place. And they are better suited for that position. So I'll play my role on this big team of changing the world, and others will do the same.
So pretty expansive there at the end. Richard, what's your reaction to Kyrie's comments?
Well, look, people, I actually got criticized when I said I hope he gets whatever, emotional, whatever, mentally, whatever help he needs, whether it's a lot going on and he needed to have mentors, people reach out to him, people checking in. I said that a couple weeks ago.
You said that on the show a couple days ago, yeah.
Because it's more of like, hey, Kyrie, if Kyrie needs some time, we all get overwhelmed. And athletes it's literally the only job where you don't just get to be like, hey, I need a couple days off. Now I understand the money, I understand the months off, but if in the middle of the thick of it, you're dealing with something and you need to take time off, shout out to, Kevin Love and DeMar DeRozan that have really talked a lot about, dealing with their mental health. And so whatever he needed, if he got what he needed and he now has an infrastructure that will allow him to deal with it, good for him. I'm glad to have him back.
Yeah, it was good to just see him smile.
Yeah.
Just to have him back. He's one of our game's greats. And, we all go through our trials and tribulations. And the only thing is, when you go through these things, it's about the respect of the organization and your teammates. The constant, because when he first went away, there was no communication. Nobody knew what was going on. That's what your teammates, that's what the organization is there for you to help you in those times. I know you have family, they can help you also. It's just, the only thing I had a problem with was the communication. We all, like I said, we go through the things that we go through in life, and sometimes it's tough to step away from the game. But I use the game to help me get through these things also. I needed to be on the court when I went through my troubles. I needed to be in practice. I needed to be around guys who relate to some of the things that we all go through as professional players and role models.
Yeah.
And Kyrie noted that his family lives locally and that he said that hits different. Obviously, your involvement with your family, if something is going on in your family or even if something's just going on with him, everybody is there and around, which is a little bit different.
Home is tough, but one of the things that he talked about was like, a lot of people just started to assume. Well, what happens when people assume is because there was no communication. So I think he takes some ownership of this. I think people that were, questioning him or not criticizing him, but more of asking him what was going on or alluding to different things. Well, that also falls on you, right? That falls on you to communicate hey, I'm dealing with some personal stuff. I need some time away. And, hopefully he learns from this. And if he needs more time or whatever it is, it can be addressed.
I mean, look, he said, people assume they know about me. And he said, without even talking to me. And then he very quickly corrected himself. He said, or I don't want to let them in to talk to me. And he said, that's a two-way street, which I certainly appreciated him making that distinction. There were repeated questions at the beginning of, hey, what was going on with you, basically? And you heard him say over and over again, hey, I've addressed it with the people I need to address. Do you feel that there was enough information there, especially eventually as he got into talking more, for Brooklyn Nets fans of the team.
He doesn't owe, and this is, I want to say this as a person that has been a net lifer. He owes the fans very little. And I mean this from a respect place. He owes the teammates. He owns, because hypothetically, you could be traded, you could retire, and the fans, like, you don't owe them an answer. Barry Sanders, they're still looking for him in Detroit, right? Calvin Johnson, they're still looking for him, right? Like, you can up and retire and not say anything to anybody. So I don't say that. You owe it to the people in the locker room, the people that have supported you, the people that you go to war with, the people that you go to battle. And if those guys are cool, then it's not up to the media, it's not up to the fans, it's only the people that he has to show up with every day.
Yeah, you say the people who support him, the fans support him.
I understand that, but you can't, if you've got millions and millions of fans, you can't individually address them. You can't tell everybody. You've got to have some parts of your life that are private.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my only thing, is that as long as the people in the locker room are okay with him, then Kyrie can move forward and be the great player that he is, right? It's just tough when, you're that individual. You feel like you owe a lot of people.
They go out and play well, win games, everybody will forget everything.
There you go.
Well, it looks like they're playing well already with
the group. Very excited, just to have James here. Obviously, letting go of some of the pieces that have been here in the Nets organization for a while, even before I got here. It's going to be hard regardless. It's just the nature of the business. We're all brothers still, so we're just moving on into the next phase of just developing as a team and just building some camaraderie and having fun.
Can you shed some light on what the last couple of weeks have been like for you and the time you needed off?
There's a lot of family and personal stuff going on, so just want to leave it at that.
Otis Livingston, CBS New York.
Hey, Kyrie, welcome back. As you look at the makeup of the team and how successful they have been, how do you see yourself fitting back in? Because you had obviously a huge role before, now coupled with James Harden in the mix.
Like I said, it's just really exciting, just to be able to play with great players that have, just been here in the league for a while, have been through ups and downs, the peaks and valleys. So, James is aligned with us in terms of just experience, and, adding that to our locker room is going to be great for us.
Malika Andrews, ESPN.
Hi, Kyrie. I'm wondering if you were aware that you had violated the health and safety protocols and what that process was like for you in coming back and going through that investigation, one, and then secondly, what your communication was like with the team while you were away.
Happy to be back. Happy to be around these guys, address the team, address everybody that need to be addressed. Now it's time to move on.
Bruce
On
Beck,
the health and safety
New
front?
York. I'm sorry, Malika, go ahead.
I just was circling back on the health and safety front.
Happy to be back. Thank you.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
Kyrie, how supportive have your teammates and the organization been during this time?
It's been great. It's been enough support for me to, feel like they have my back. And, that's all I can ask for. The support, not only me, but my family. I'm a hometown kid, so, things hit a little different when, family or personal stuff going on. And that's up to me to handle that as a man. But, yeah, I just take full accountability for my absence with the guys and, just had a conversation with each one of them and we move on.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Kyrie, just wanted to ask, on a mental, maybe spiritual, emotional, even physical front, is everything okay with you?
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Kyrie, there was a report yesterday that you had purchased a house for George Floyd's family, which would be obviously a magnificent gesture. Can you confirm that and discuss what went into your thinking on that?
It was a team effort. Just want to continue to fulfill our purpose in serving a lot of the underserved communities. Those don't necessarily get, the same attention from just others around. So just trying to do my part. Selfless service, that's all.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Kyrie, welcome back. While you were away, were you able to regularly work out? And if so, did you have access to a gym or was it home workouts? Just what was your conditioning like while you were away?
No, it's just at home, man. Just working out.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press.
Hey, Kyrie. You know, a lot of stuff has obviously happened in the world the last couple of years. Has anything that's gone on made you change your commitment to basketball at all, minimize the importance of it?
It's just a separation between what's going on here, you know, when I'm playing professionally and what's going on out in the world. And if you don't create that distinction, then it's easy to feel the weight of the world while you're going out there and playing. So, you know, I would be lying sitting here and saying I don't feel what's going on in the world, and nor am I paying attention to it. You know, I just have a huge responsibility, I feel, to continue to serve my community and the underserved. And, you know, when I'm out here playing, it's continuing to leave knowledge with these guys and commit to something, like I always say, bigger than ourselves. You know, this team environment here, or just in basketball in general, it takes sacrifice and compromise. You know, and we got to come to an agreement and just staying balanced throughout this long journey. So that's all I'm trying to do.
Ian Begley, SNY.
Hey, Kyrie, I know that, you know, you said that why you were out was a personal matter and you're just leaving it at that. But I'm just curious, like, for the net fan out there who, you know, was living and dying with you guys and wasn't sure why you were not playing and was frustrated by that, you know, would you have any explanation to that, those fans, that fan?
Well, the beautiful thing about that is that I started off as a fanatic and I started off as a fan. I've been invested in this organization since I was a kid, you know, and also now that I'm in this role as a player, there is quite a difference. And, you know, the fans out there, want to apologize to them as well. You know, my commitment has always been to bringing something special to Brooklyn. You know, it wasn't just a championship. It was unity, it was equality. It was just bigger things than just the game itself. You know, it took quite a while and quite a few valleys to get back home initially, you know. So for me, I'm just taking every day, you know, just being grateful, you know. But for the casual or the fanatic, you know, it's part of our culture. And, you know, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. And we got some great pieces and we just move on. And I let my actions and my game speak for itself like I planned on doing, you know, just needed a pause.
Barbara Barker, Newsday. All right, we'll move on back to Greg Logan with Newsday.
Kyrie, two things. You know, we know that politically and socially, the country has been fractured the last 4 years. What do you hope happens after this inauguration tomorrow? And also, secondly, do you feel like you can still find your joy playing basketball?
Thing that is, you know, pretty interesting in watching when you take a break from everything. There's just so many assumptions about what's going on. And so many people feel like they know me best. They have no idea who I am, nor what I'm about, or what I stand for, or even attempt to take the time, or even for me to invite them to take the time. So it's a two-way street. And when things become overwhelming in life, you know, you just got to take a step back and realize what's important. And I love to play. That's never been questioned. I've committed myself, you know, when this wasn't even a thing for me. You know, I didn't really care about media, didn't really care about the fandom. All I cared about was just the ethics of the game and being taught the fundamentals. And now that it's become bigger and there's more of a responsibility that I have in this position I'm in, I'm grateful because I'm able to stand on this platform with others alongside of me that have sacrificed and are going through similar things. So I'm not alone in this. And, you know, that's just a big thing about also mental health, you know, just coming in and being balanced with yourself first and then being able to perform. So, you know, with everything going on in the world, politically, socially, like I said, it's hard to ignore. I want to make changes daily. You know, there are so many oppressed communities, so many things going on that are bigger than just a ball going in the rim. So for me, I just, like I said, it's just the balance of it, of knowing I can delegate my responsibilities off the court to people that I'm surrounded around that are for the fight. and are fighting behind the scenes and in front in the lines. And, you know, like I said, I'm not the only one that's fighting. So I'm grateful to unify with others. And that's all.